There's really only two bits of maintenance you need to do to your knives to keep them nice and sharp. One of them is honing, and that's something you're going to do almost every day, at least once a week. And the other is sharpening, and that's something that you really only need to do a couple times a year, if that much. We're going to start with honing. So this is a honing steel, and it's basically just a steel rod with some metal grooves cut into it. And what that does is that as your knife gets used, the bits of the edge get kind of knocked out of alignment like this so that your knife doesn't really cut efficiently. And a honing steel, all it does is it knocks those kinks back into alignment. So we want to make sure that the knife goes all the way heel to tip and that we also go heel to tip on the steels. And I'll do it about 10 times on one side and then about 10 times on the other side. And then I will gradually do fewer and fewer strokes on each side until I'm down to just about one stroke on each side. Now, if your knife gets to the point where instead of just being knocked out of alignment, the blade actually starts to get crushed or has chips in it, then you're gonna need to start actually re-sharpening your knife and taking some material off of it. You can get yourself a set of sharpening stones. They're different grits. So this one is about 1,000 grit, and this one is about 2,000 grit. So 2,000 is a finer grit. So I start with the bigger one. Put it right in the middle of the board, and then I have a very, very rough stone, and this is called your fixer, and you basically rub it over the top surface of your stone like this to make sure that you start with a nice flat surface. This will also help to build up some sediment on the surface of the stone, which is what does the actual job of sharpening. So now you want to take your knife. I always go with the direction of the blade, so you never want to grind your blade forward into it, just very gentle pressure. And again, you want to go heel to tip, all the way from the front of the stone to the back. You always want to keep your stone nice and moist. And just like when we're honing, we're going to start with 10 to 20 strokes on the first side. Then we're going to do fewer and fewer strokes each time until we're down to just 1 and 1. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the finer grit stone and basically just repeat the entire process. And this nice layer of sediment here, like when you rub your finger over it, that's exactly what you want to see. Now that I've finished sharpening the knife on the finer grit stone, I'm going to give it a quick rinse off. And then we're going to finish it off by honing it on the steel, just to make sure we get any of those last remaining kind of burrs or nicks, just to get everything in alignment. And that is a sharp knife.